What is up, guys? Amp here bringing you a Modern Warfare 3 commentary. And, I'm feeling better about this game. I mean, it's not that much better, but I'm dealing with it. Um, to be honest, Modern Warfare 3 is probably one of the my least favorite of the series. It's just, it brings me back to Modern Warfare 2, you know? The most broken game I'd say I've ever played. Because that game just did not had so many glitches and it never got fixed, and I got fed up with it along with a lot of other people. And then there's that group of people who seem to have enjoyed that game throughout, which um, honestly astonishes me because that game just I won't go that far into it. Anyways, what I kind of wanted to talk about today is the fact that I am enjoying it a little bit more. I'm getting into better games with better people. Playing with some groups of friends that I haven't played with in a while for COD. And you notice a couple host migrations in this game. Sorry about that, but yeah, obviously you'll have to deal with them for a little bit. But I actually do pretty well in this game. I love the G36. You guys have heard me say that before, and you'll see me play with it a lot. And it's not one of those overpowered guns that everybody's gonna start bitching about. At least I hope not, because everybody knows the ACR, MP7, all that stuff. But I'm sticking with the G36. I enjoy it a lot, and even if it does turn out to be one of the more overpowered after some nerfs or whatnot, I'm gonna stick with it because I love it. But I want to talk about this phenomenon that sort of hit some of the more recent releases of games. At least from my perspective, Halo Reach is pretty well known to have lost a lot of interest of Halo players. And honestly, I can see where they come from with this, but to me, it's still Halo. I still want to play it as Halo. It's got the bloom, which they've actually now, made steps in remedying that situation, at least in certain playlists. And even MLG now has no boom in their playlist, no sprint in their playlist, so it's sort of bringing it back to the basics of Halo, and I think it's pretty good. I haven't played it a lot yet, but it's feeling good so far. So that's thumbs up to 343 for bringing that stuff around so that we can start enjoying the game again. And the phenomenon I want to talk about is, these games are coming out, and a lot of players who have played for a long time and sort of were there from the beginning with like COD 4. I'd say COD 2, but COD 4 is really where the perk system came around for Call of Duty, the customizability as much as possible. This game is epitome of that. And then Halo, Halo 1, landing with your friends, playing campaign over and over again, which was the boat I was in because I didn't have an Xbox and live for that matter. Well, nobody had live for CE, but it feels like we're sort of getting the short end of the stick. Halo Reach, they added the bloom. They sort of changed the core of Halo. They added these armor abilities. The equipment from Halo 3 was cool. It's just a little added feature. A lot of people didn't enjoy it as much, including myself. Mainly for the fact that there's a regenerator. That was pretty much the big one right there, and that's why I played MLG so much. It's one of the reasons I played MLG so much. I enjoyed the increased speed and the increased damage and such, but one of the reasons they don't have equipment. This unnecessary thing in the game that some say could improve in certain situations, but overall sort of detracted from the Halo experience. And then moving on to Halo Reach, they refined the sort of idea they came up with when talking about equipment, where they created these armor abilities, and they were more integrated in the game. They made more sense for the maps and all that sort of stuff, and they were fun to use. It was a cool feature that they added to the game. But overall, going further into the game's life cycle, things started becoming apparent. Like armor lock was way too overpowered because somebody could get rid of a sticky, or they could just completely nullify a rocket or whatever, and they could stay in there for a period of time that would allow their teammates to come. Obviously, was Bungie's intention. That's how they wanted armor lock to work, but that's not really how Halo comes about. Halo's about being able to make the decision to back off or get out of that situation while you have your health still, so that you can come back and fight another day, especially on the competitive side. But we'll move on to Call of Duty, since this is a Call of Duty commentary. But so Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, honestly, I felt like Modern Warfare 2 was a step backwards from Call of Duty 4. Obviously, World at War was a pretty solid game in itself. I didn't play that much of it. And it's had its own flaws, like the MP40 and all that stuff that I've heard about. Here's the other host migration. But moving from Call of Duty 4, which a lot of us did, it felt sort of like it had some new features, but it also was way too broken to be sort of a step up in Call of Duty. So I don't know, these new features and stuff ended up breaking the game, like some of the perks, like One Man Army, allowing you to get all your ammo back in game, which is ridiculous. Getting Commando Lunge, you know, Danger Close, so combined especially with One Man Army and Noob Tubes and all that stuff. In my opinion, the quick scoping pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it, just sort of sweeping through and destroying the game for everybody else who wanted to actually play and not just fool around in a public lobby. And this game has sort of brought that back. I felt like Black Ops was a step up from Modern Warfare 2 because it sort of brought back Call of Duty with the gun-on-gun, the smart, you know, decision making, giving you the ability to sort of, it sort of turned it into more of a Halo thing where you could get away, and so it was a lot easier for you to sort of get yourself out of a situation that wasn't desirable and then come back and outsmart that player in the end. And you also had to have that shot on, because you know, obviously some of the hitboxes and stuff in Black Ops weren't great. We all admit that, but it was still, I mean, if you look at that right there, I probably should have gotten that kill. So even though the aim did go a little off of the kill, I was getting the hit markers, so why didn't I get that kill? Hit some hitbox problems there. So it's not like it was perfect, and it's not like this game is perfect in any shape or form. And I feel like the things that Black Ops employed sort of made it a purer Call of Duty game than this game is. This game sort of just tried to shove a whole bunch of stuff down your throat all at once, and didn't really build off of any of the good things that COD 4 had, or even any of the good things that Modern Warfare 2 had, and has had a bunch of glitches and stuff already to start. You know, new game, it's going to have that sort of problems. It is being fixed a little faster, well, much faster than Modern Warfare 2 was, and I don't blame Infinity Ward 100% for that, because they were being disassembled at the time. But still, you know, you gotta, if you're gonna support the biggest selling game in entertainment release in history, you gotta have some sort of staff there, you know. But wow, this is a bit of a rant. But Modern Warfare 3, you know, it's still frustrating to me a lot of the time, because things that should have gone my way don't. You know, kids are messing around with things that really shouldn't be getting the better of me. You know, just things like that you know that somebody shouldn't have gotten that kill on you using the sort of perks or the setup or whatever that they were using, yet they did. It's just stuff like that that I feel like this game sort of excels on. It's just giving people those kills that they shouldn't have gotten. And that's really frustrating when you're playing in game, when you're trying to get some wins under your belt, you know. But I did end up prestiging, for those of you who were behind me not prestiging. The reason behind that is that I had so much Mountain Dew double XP because of some friends helping me out with some bottle caps and such, along with my own purchases. I feel like I should use it, and if I'm going to use it, I might as well use it when I'm ranking up. And I also want those extra custom classes, so, you know, those prestige tokens help out a lot. But yeah, I go pretty beast mode in this game, as you've been watching. The video screwed up a couple of times. Sorry about that. And the host migration all over the place. It's not a great video overall, but I wanted to be able to salvage this game somehow. So hope you enjoyed it. And that G36, man. I hope you guys at least check it out if you haven't already. I know a lot of people are using the ACR when they go to assault rifle class, but try the G36. It's got a little bit more recoil. You may not enjoy it at first, but stick with it. It's a pretty solid weapon. Anyways, that's it for the commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys agree with some of the points that I made. I've been playing a bit of other games just so that I'm not playing Call of Duty and not playing whatever. I played a little bit of Gears today, stuff like that, just to sort of broaden my horizons while we sort of get the kinks out of our system for Call of Duty. But I will talk to you guys later.